Welcome.
Hello, welcome. Tea Time Thursday.
Hey, everybody.
We're laughing because literally about 10
seconds.
seconds ago, 20 seconds ago,
Yeah,
Ryan
20.
walked in. Yeah.
20 seconds. I leisurely strolled in.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Hey, well, we hope you are having a great week so far. As people are logging in and joining on, connect with us. Let us know how you're doing, how your week's going. Let us know where you're watching from, where you're engaging from. Hopefully you're on lunch or getting ready to go on lunch. But this is a time for us to check in. And we're also going to be looking forward to this upcoming sermon.
Hey, how
Yeah.
you doing?
Stop talking to me. You're so silly. Hi, Raya.
Yay. Yeah, I love this time. I love this middle of the week. What's going on? How's everybody doing? What you got? What's for lunch today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have that planned?
Brenna, where you at for lunch? Are you at Panda again? I like to
Yeah.
know.
Can you bring us some?
Man,
Yeah,
wouldn't that
she
be
didn't.
great?
She didn't come. Didn't we make this clear last week?
I'm a huge fan of orange chicken.
So I've never had Panda Express.
Failed communication.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
It's probably on us. Brenna's practically perfect in every way. She's the youth's Mary Poppins. Do they get that reference?
No. So she's she was Jesus on Good
That's
Friday.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. So, right, like what's been going on? Everybody doing okay? What are we going to talk about this coming Sunday?
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, we keep hanging around the same story. We keep just circling the same story, same healing and all that happened. So that's what we're talking about.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are we going to do our little video already? Are
Yeah,
we there?
we're
Are we
already
there
there.
already?
We there.
Well, all right.
So we're going to take 30 seconds, watch our tea time video, and then we will be back.
We'll see you soon.
All right. All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
What was that you were just saying?
I actually have to go fix the video
Yeah,
real quick.
all right.
So, but you guys keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So Brenna said,
keep ta- that was pretty good, right? Oh, no, it's not the audio. It's the video. It's the... Am I still talking?
what
Am
are you?
am I doing it right?
Stop. He's so silly.
I'm just happy to be here. What's
oh my
going
goodness.
on with Brenna? What'd she
Brenna
say?
said, you should invite me to be a guest star on Table Talk.
We should totally do that. How fun would that be?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
man.
plan it.
Yeah, let's do it. Hook it up. Hook us up.
You can sit in my spot.
No, we'll make a new spot. We'll make a
I don't
new
think-
spot. That's what she's asking. Right, Brenna?
Brenna, wouldn't you love to be in my spot? Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't give up your spot well.
Anybody that wants to be a guest star, just call me.
So yeah, so this week we're hanging around with Acts, right? And we've been doing this for a while. And the whole idea is, as Christians, we have the power of the Holy Spirit. The resurrection event is a powerful event. But I mean, I don't know about you guys, but oftentimes I feel like I don't think about it this way. I don't think, gosh, I wish I had more power. But I just feel small. I feel small. There's a big problem. I feel small. Or there's a big...
You forgot your mic.
See ya? There's a big... there's a big question I can't answer. I feel small, And I think what we're looking to experience as the people of God is how do we stay humble, but also realize that we actually have ability in the Holy Spirit.
Yes, we do.
Smooth.
Brenna, you should be here today.
Yeah, today's the day. Today's the day. So this is a story where there's been, and it's really cool, right? Because the story that we keep walking around is the story of this healing at the gate of the temple. Just brief refresher, it's a guy who was born with, since birth, he's not been able to walk. We're not told much more. The Bible word is crippled. We don't really say that today. This has been his life. And then all of a sudden, Peter and James, disciples of Jesus, it's a little bit more than a month, almost 2 months after Jesus goes back to heaven. And they basically, on their way to the temple, they heal this guy. And then we've been walking around that story because what's interesting is the healing. The healing seems like it's the big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what's got all this. Like, that's the thing. But when you really hang on the story, you're like, that's actually not it. The point is all this other. The point is how the disciples. How the world responds and how the disciples respond. And if you're looking for power, it's not actually the healing. It's the rest of it. It's all this witness that's going around and how they're responding to it. And so today, or this coming Sunday, we're looking at them again. They're on their little trial. It's more of a hearing. They're not charged with anything. And it's how they're responding to the really unhelpful and just, I don't want to say evil, but kind of evil in terms of opposing God, the questions that are coming to them from the leaders of the temple. Why are you giggling or smirking?
So
I feel like I'm missing something, like I've got like broccoli in my teeth.
no, but there.
Do you?
We were no. Oh gosh, we're still on camera.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I think it's funny that we were running to get here, so we were out of breath when we were sitting down, and then he forgot his mic, so he had to run back, and he was like out of breath, so I can hear him like.
Oh.
And so I'm like, yes.
Did you notice I had the mic down here? I was
Yeah, but I could hear you.
the Rocky
like-
Balboa did not come out in that moment.
So I was like, I'm glad that you're out of breath like the two of us
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, and I drink coffee like that's going to be
I
refreshing.
know.
But
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
You need to get a
yeah.
frozen coffee. Anyway,
Ooh,
so
yeah.
so
So back to the story. So it's an important
So-
story. It's a good
so
story.
It is, and so we're hanging around it.
Yep.
And so the scripture that the little piece that I wanted us to focus on today is right. It's right at the beginning of our passage, and it's the question that is being asked of Peter and John, which is, here we go, Acts 4. Verse 5. Look, this is amazing. I have like 400 Bibles right here at my fingertips. So it's the next day, right? So it's after all this has happened. The next day, the rulers, elders, and scribes assembled in Jerusalem. So they've all like been called together. Like it's a big meeting, y'all.
like a town meeting.
Yeah. And it's Annas the high priest, Caiaphas. So we recognize those names because they were involved in Jesus' trial. Right? John and Alexander, we don't really know who those are, and all who were of the high priestly family. So they've called everybody in. I'm thinking Duck Dynasty, but first century temple. So they've all been called in. Same beard energy, right? So they've all been called in.
Can you imagine Uncle Sky sitting on the court with his sweet tea?
Right.
Just
That's what's happening.
that's
Okay, so they'd made their prisoners stand in their midst, and they inquired, by what power or by what name did you do this? And I read that, and I'm like, what a dumb question. Like, that is just so not important.
Our video went away again.
Our video went away. Okay.
What is going on
I
today?
don't know. Okay.
'Kay,
So,
keep
we're just
going.
going to keep going. We're going to try to keep going. But that is, I keep trying to, if I were in that day, like if I had just gone to church, then,
Yeah.
I'd just gone to church and there's been this massive healing, right? This guy that we've seen him for years and that's just who he is, his broken body. And because of that, he never gets to come in. Right, and I'm going to church, and maybe sometimes I give this guy a little money, maybe sometimes I don't. But this particular day, he comes in. He's walking. It's mind blowing, and I feel like the last question on my mind is going to be, by whose name did this happen? Like, why is that? Why is that the question? Why is that? Why is that what they are wanting to figure out? They're missing the whole point of here's a guy who's been set free.
Yeah.
He's been set free. I mean, he can go to the temple now. That's their thing.
Well, so they're not like celebrating it. They're
Right.
wondering how, why, who did this, like, which I feel like is somewhat common, right? Like, when I feel like sometimes when someone was sick and they're no longer sick, well, how did that happen? That's not, or a baby was told they're never going to be able to walk, and then they walk, and it's not like, let's celebrate this. It's how did that like they're trying to wrap their brain around it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But how do we not try and wrap our brain around it and just say, like, that's awesome, like, celebrate it, celebrate the blessing. Anyways.
No, that's some really good thought right there. This isn't as unusual as it seems, is what you're saying. You know, there's this, and it's like a cannot compute. It's too big, and trying to figure out, okay, well, what really happened here is what you're getting at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's all I got.
We're all about going
Answered
off
my
camera
question.
today.
What's going on? It's
Oh,
my
yeah,
turn.
it's my turn.
My turn.
But no, yeah, no, that's super interesting because, and I guess that's part of what was stirring in me was it also does feel familiar. How often do I get focused on the wrong thing? You know, that is not the big story, or that's not the big line of inquiry. But then again, like in this case, it sets up this testimony about, well, it's Jesus. It's the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
So I think it's a dumb question that leads to an amazing revelation. I hadn't thought about that. That's pretty good. But I'm thinking, and I guess I'm curious, like for those moments, maybe that's where God's leading us, right? For those moments where, you know, and it's usually a hindsight moment where we're like, gosh, I was really off track, but look what God did. Like that was really the wrong question, but look what God revealed. Or I missed an opportunity to celebrate this thing, but look what has happened to it. I feel like we know those stories.
I feel like that happens all the time.
And
we don't celebrate. We wonder why. Try and figure out why.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter why or how.
why do we want to
Just
figure out
celebrate it.
why?
Because we want to know. I think it's just the way we process things, right? Like, I don't know. We just want to, I don't know. Why do you think we try to not celebrate and instead try and figure out how that happened or why that happened or...
I have a theory.
Okay. Tell us, please.
Magicians when you were a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know why.
Yes.
All the time.
Aha. That fits my theory.
Yeah. I know where you're, yeah.
Right?
These
What-
two peas in a pod.
So, I mean, it fits my theory because part of it is like what I was first thinking is like, well, what if? All right, so what if we, you know, like that whole pretend we've got this guy that always is like on our church property somewhere, right?
Yep.
So set up, we've got this, and then, and every once in a while, like we notice him, we talk to him, we're like, hey, Bob, you know, how are you doing today? You know, have you tried sitting over there, better spot, you know, whatever. But Bob's not changing. And then, you know, we have a guest preacher come. Right? We have Saul, who's one of our local preachers, you know, this real dynamic, he's a really cool guy. He comes and he walks by Bob and he's like, hey, Bob, come in with me. And he like lifts Bob to his feet and suddenly Bob's inside. And I'm going to be like, what did, I mean,
What did he do that I
what did he
didn't?
do that I didn't do? How did he do that? I wonder if that's part of it. I mean, they're the ones that are running the temple.
Right.
You know, they're the ones that are on God's inside team, you know, and
Yeah.
and who's this guy to just come in there and heal Bob?
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's got to be.
And I think part of the whole idea of the magician thing is not so much like how come that's not me, but then how can I be like that too? Like I wanna do the
Yeah.
I want to do the magic trick, right?
Were you one of those kids that
Oh gosh,
that got like magic stuff? And
No,
like,
I didn't get the magic
Oh, okay.
stuff because I didn't realize you could.
I feel
I
feel
thought-
like if I had a younger sister, I'd definitely try to make her disappear.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wanted to do card tricks.
My brother would never let that happen. He would be like, I'm not getting in that box.
Wait a minute. So why would your sister have?
I don't know. It just seems like it would. If I had a younger sister, I probably could manipulate the
Oh my
situation.
goodness.
Not true.
Oh my goodness. There's so much to unpack right
Oh,
here.
I know.
All right, guys, pull over. And
So Karen said I get lost in
I was just going to share that.
trying to think through instead of just enjoying it.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But that's the truth, right? Like, and we talked about, I joked about the magician, but I truly mean this, is that we get lost, you kind of hinted at it, we get lost and mesmerized in like what they're doing, that you're immediately thinking, how did they do it? And you're questioning it, and you want to know in your head, it's like, wait a second, how'd that car, what? And you're processing, and then you're playing back. Right, and I think this comes back to your statement is they're playing back like, listen, we've talked to this guy, we've done these things. Like, all of a sudden he's here, right? And
Yeah.
so we have this tendency to not just think in the moment and try to analyze everything and have reason. I think a lot of us operate by reason, but then we also do this playback of how did we get there, of how did we get to this point.
Yeah.
I wonder too, in part of that, if
We're related.
the magician thing, if it's also like, okay, well, what's the trick?
Yeah.
This can't be true. What's the trick? Like, which in this case, it's an extremely long con. How did they do this? Which I guess is not quite of their inquiry. In their question, they've accepted that this was done. But I think that's part of why, like what Karen said, well, I'll miss the celebration,
Okay.
because of everything's fine. It's just everything's fine. But I think that's part of it. Either why wasn't it us? How can we do that? Or did that even really happen?
Right.
Or some of the ways that we miss out on those moments.
Well, that's the main point, right? Like we miss out on those moments because we're trying to analyze and figure out why these things happened and like playing it back through our heads, and we're missing the next moment. Like we're missing so much if we would just be in the moment and not try and figure out why whatever's happening or why how this is going on. If we would just stop trying to figure it out and just be in the moment, how different would that be?
Yeah.
How different would events or things going on in our lives or blessings, how more would they be like present to us? Like we're missing them because we're so wrapped up in our minds.
That's really good.
It would just be so different. So I now that Eric's not here, I've got to tell you, Karen said it's only because he doesn't have a younger sister. His younger brother is too much of a force. His sister would have been the same,
A little
I'm
inside
sure.
scoop on Eric's psyche. Yeah. Thanks, Karen.
Yeah. Anyways.
I was thinking too, while you were talking about, life is full of those moments. And at first I was thinking, like, this one's obviously big. This guy has been crippled his whole life.
Yeah.
A huge moment. But you ever have someone share some great news and they're clearly excited about it, and you're like, and? Or you mean you don't get it, or you just and
Or you're like, that's cool.
cool story. And that's happened to me. I'm excited about something, and I'm telling people, and they're clearly not excited about it, right?
I'll get better at that.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to everybody, right? I like to nerd out on things. What a missed moment, though.
Yeah.
Right? What a missed moment to, that's one of the scriptural lessons, to rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep, be present. So it got me thinking about that other part. Like, we miss out on so much obvious blessing because when good things happen, we're thinking about it, analyzing it, or afraid, like, well, what's the bad thing that's going to follow?
Right. Or how about, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
What if, so I'll just use, I don't have an example, but like, what if a youth came to me and they were upset about something, but I'm not listening to what they're really saying. I'm trying to I'm listening, but I'm not listening. I'm not fully engaged because I'm trying to think of, okay, how am I going to respond as their youth leader? How am I going to respond to this? Instead of just being there and listening and maybe not having the things to say, maybe not having something like amazing to say, right? But I lost what they were really trying to tell me and what they're really feeling and going through because I'm trying to prepare to have an answer. I think that happens not just in that scenario. That can happen when, in a marriage, and your husband comes to you and he's like, this is what's going on, and I'm trying to fix it for him instead of being present and just listening, which could really just fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we have to be more present.
That's some good stuff. That's some really good stuff. I think that happens so often,
Yeah.
not just some kind of spiritual leader or someone coming for help, just in our conversations. It's the same kind of thing. Like, yeah, I'm listening to you, but I'm really thinking about what I want to say.
Right. I want to
You know?
respond.
That can happen in so many ways, and it's missing the moment. And I think it's in that moment we don't realize how much blessing is available.
Yes.
Which then gets me thinking, well, what about the moments that aren't so obviously good? And how many conversations that I've been in where people are trying to figure out, why did this bad thing happen to me? And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're trying to explain it, trying to explain what's really not explainable. Instead of just leaning into, even in those moments, blessing can be found.
Right.
And maybe it is just, it's a real blessing to love someone. I mean, it's a real blessing to have someone open their soul to you and cry with you, and for you just to be there. Just to be there is a blessing to them and to you. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to fix it. You just be like, oh, it's just awful.
Just listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need that.
I usually find I'm wiser when I listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're listening, you're present, you're fully present. You're not thinking of what to say. You're not thinking about what the next thing that person may be telling you. You're just open to listening. And literally, sometimes people don't need you to have an answer. They don't need you to. I had a conversation with a parent a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I was present, like, because it was a situation I had no idea what to say, and so I was like, I'm really sorry, I don't even know what to say. All I know what to do is to listen, and I'm here for you to talk to. And they were like, I don't need you to. I don't think you were gonna have my answer for me. I just needed you to listen. And so in that, it was a blessing for me to listen, and for her, it was a blessing for me to listen. And for me, I was learning from that I don't have to have all the answers. It doesn't make me a bad leader if I don't know what to say and don't have every answer to everything that is going to happen.
Exactly.
So it's cool.
Right. And it doesn't make you a bad Christian to not know what to say to someone either. That just happens all the time. My profession is a listening profession, is a profession of pointing people to God. But man, most of the time, I don't know what to say. It's bigger than us. That's the point. If I keep trying to give people my wisdom, that's it's not going to get it. And so, and there's those people. You ever talk to those people where, you say something and then they're listening, but they just keep waiting you out, and you end up saying more than you intended. You end up, right? And there's something that really happens when you allow that space to be present in that moment, to feel all the joy that comes with it, to feel the sorrow. And I think we need to expand our understanding of what blessing is. Blessing
Yeah.
is not just some obvious benefit.
Right.
I think maybe it's allowing enough space to realize that God is right here in the middle of this gladness and in the middle of this sorrow.
Yep. He's in the middle of it all.
Really liking that.
I'm glad you're liking it.
Did we land? Is that
We're-
our landing place?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, friends. But we do have things going on, so
Yep.
we do want to talk about that. So
Yep.
so keep giving comments. We see that stuff too. Even when you comment a couple hours later, it comes to us
Yeah.
and we get to see
I
it.
love seeing that. The
Yeah.
little thing pops up on my phone. Yeah.
So keep thinking about it. See you on Sunday and talk more about it. But so we've got what going on? So
Got some news.
got some news. Mother's Day tea is sold out as of this morning. We are sold out. So it happened really fast. It's kind of crazy. But so registration's been shut down, and we're excited about it. Excited about Mother's Day tea. Excited about all the people that are coming. Sad for the people that aren't going to be able to. But it'll be a good event. So we're excited about that. What do we have going on?
Well, and so something about that is there's not a whole lot that we can do to change that. If you wanted to sign up and didn't get to sign up, just continue to pray for it, right? Continue to pray, and it's interesting how God works in all of these ways, and so we're really looking for God to make this cool connection with moms and daughters and aunts and grandmas and all that. And so, whether you can come or not, just be in prayer. It's a really powerful time of something happens.
Yeah.
Something happens. So, but yeah, that's not this Saturday, but next Saturday, right?
Yes, I jumped ahead. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Well, it's because we had the news. So yeah, this weekend is a typical worship weekend. We've got our Sunday morning 9:30 for our online folks, and as well as folks here. It's traditional or contemporary worship. 11 o'clock traditional. 4 o'clock drive-in.
5 o'clock
5 o'clock youth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot when you say it all.
Yeah.
I love Sundays.
I do too.
Yeah, I get
It's
really tired on Sundays.
Yeah. I take a nap in between.
Yeah. So, but that's not the only way for us to be church together, right?
Right.
These official meeting times and places don't define us as a church. It's helping us stay connected, but really it's the way that we live out with each other. So be checking in with each other, calling each other, checking in with the office. Let us know how things are going. Yesterday was our staff meeting. One of the things I love doing at staff meetings is we talk about what's going on with our prayer list and who's on there and what's the news, what do we know, what's changing. And so this is meant to be a way for us to all just really be staying in those moments together, So let us know what's up. Let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right. We love you guys. Stay
Have
safe.
a great week.
We'll see you soon.